A splendid morning to you, your Aunt Pensioners 106.7 FM. And yes, we're bringing you news real right from the stable of the station. It's so great to have you right here with us. My name is Pelumi Adedoja, and I have Israel here.
Yes,
Hi,
good morning,
Israel.
Pelumi. How was your night?
Very well, thank you.
Yes, good morning and welcome to another wonderful edition of News Real, reaching you from Pensioners 106.7 FM. It is a newspaper review program where we consider topical and salient issues from the trending headlines of the day. My name is Israel Adejumobi. Welcome aboard.
Now I'm bringing you headlines. First of all, here we have President Buhari celebrates Doni Abiola at 75.
Presidency says appointment of IGP will not be based on ethnic consideration.
Uncertainty as IG Mohammed Adamu retires.
Court explains IGP Adamu's summon.
Nigeria Army denies having Chibok Girls in its custody.
Presidency warns no one has immunity against pandemic.
And this is another COVID story. FCT administration orders closure of markets over COVID-19 challenge.
Lagos State government extends work from home directive for workers on level 14 and below.
And still COVID-19 stories. Ondo might adopt staggered classes in schools to mitigate COVID-19 spike.
NSCDC partners Nigerian army to tackle insecurity.
And bringing you more headlines. Here we have Oyope's gratuity of another 76 retirees.
Let's shift jet to education. Uni Abuja students protest tuition hike, demand postponement of examination.
And still on education, Lautech workers protest non-payment of entitlements.
Fire me to address Chapman House.
And finally, from my end, former Minister of Information, Tony Momo, is dead.
And the final headline here with me, Ogunkoya advocates repair of threatened track, improve infrastructure.
Kindly stay with us as we go on a short break. We're back with the details of the story.
Ó fẹ́ mọ̀ nípa kòkòrò àrùn kòrónà. Òun ni kòkòrò àrùn tuntun tí ó ń ṣàkóbá fún ìmìsókèmísódò ẹ̀dá tí ó sì ń da gbogbo ayé láàmú báyìí, ṣùgbọ́n tí ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti orílẹ̀-èdè China. Kódà àjọ tó ń rí sí ètò ìlera káàkiri àgbáláyé ti kéde rẹ̀ pé àrùn eléyìí tó jẹ́ ìdojúkọ jákèjádò àgbáyé ni kòkòrò àrùn kòrónà jẹ́. Láti wá dènà ìbújáde àti àtànkálẹ̀ kòkòrò àrùn kòrónà, rí dájú pé àyíká rẹ wà ní mímọ́ tónítóní. Máa fọwọ́ rẹ lóòrèkóòrè pẹ̀lú ọṣẹ, eérú àti omi. Yẹra fún fífi ọwọ́ lásán kan ẹranko kan tàbí nǹkan ọ̀sìn. Gbogbo alápatà ẹ rí dájú pé ẹ ń ṣe ìmọ́tótó lórí irúfẹ́ ẹran eléyìí tí ẹ ń tà fún àwọn aráàlú. Tí o bá wá kẹ́fìn àìlera kan lágọ̀ọ́ ara rẹ, má tẹ́tí o láti lọ rí dókítà tàbí kí o kàn sí ilé ìwòsàn eléyìí tó súnmọ́. Dáàbò bo ara rẹ lọ́wọ́ kòkòrò àrùn kòrónà, ìbújáde àti àtànkálẹ̀ rẹ̀ nítorí pé ìlera lọ́rọ̀. Ìkéde ìwá láti iléeṣẹ́ Pensioners 106.7 FM Àgbárígo Onírèké Ìbàdàn ohun ìlera.
Did you say coronavirus? Yes, coronavirus. A new killer disease now ravaging the world started from China. Even World Health Organization has declared it a global health challenge. To prevent the outbreak and spread of coronavirus, make healthy living a habit. Ensure a clean and healthy environment. Wash your hands always with soap, ash, and water. Avoid direct contact with animals with your bare hands. Our butchers ensure only healthy and well-certified animals animals and poultry products are being served the public. When you notice any change in your body system, contact your doctor or nearest health center. Liberate yourself from the outbreak and spread of coronavirus. Healthy living is the antidote. This message is from Pensioners 106.7 FM, Agbarigo Onireke Ibadan, the voice of liberation.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, bringing you details of the stories. President Buhari celebrates Doyin Abiola at 75. President Muhammad Buhari has felicitated Dr. Doyin Abiola, Nigeria's first female newspaper editor and former managing director and editor-in-chief, Concord Press Nigeria Limited, on the occasion of her 75th birthday. In a congratulatory message by spokesman Mr. Femi Adesina in Abuja, Buhari appreciated Abiola's remarkable contributions to the growth of Nigerian media industry. He also lauded her for inspiring many others to build successful careers as members of the fourth estate of the realm. The president acknowledged Abiola's positive influence on responsible journalism in the country as a thoroughbred reporter, columnist, and editor. He urged the veteran journalist to sustain her support towards raising the bar of professionalism, responsibility, and accountability in the Nigerian media as a trusted source of information in democracy. The president joins family, friends, and proteges of Dr. Abiola in praying for her health and happiness. President Buhari celebrates Doyin Abiola at 75.
The presidency has said the appointment of the next Inspector General of Police will not be based on ethnic consideration. This is Kemina's IGP Mohammed Adamu yesterday attained the retirement age, and speculations have emerged on who his successor will be. Speaking on a monitored television program, presidential spokesman Garba Shehu said it is impracticable for top security appointment to be made based on factors such as ethnicity or regions. The spokesman added that the appointment will be based on who can best help to protect lives and properties across the country. Presidency says appointment of IGP will not be based on ethnic considerations.
And still bringing you stories regarding the IGP uncertainty as IG Mohammed Adamu retires. There is uncertainty at the Louis Edet House Police Headquarters in Abuja as a result of the silence from President Muhammadu Buhari and the seat of power at Sevilla. The tenure of IG Mohammed Adamu expired yesterday as he has completed his 35 years maximum to stay in the police, having enlisted on February 2, 1986. Adamu, who will turn 60 on September 17, was appointed as the IGP in January 2019 and has spent 2 years in office. 3 Deputy Inspector General of Police, DIGs, and 10 Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIGs, are also due for retirement with him. It is believed that there is a campaign to extend Adamu's tenure, but some have argued against such extension because it would contradict the provision of the Police Act 2020 that pegs the retirement of police officers at 60 years of age or 35 years of service. Meanwhile, Nigerians waiting for the announcement of the appointment of a new Inspector General of Police may need to wait longer as no day has been fixed for such announcement.
The Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the Inspector General of Police IGP Mohammed Adamu to appear before it on Thursday over his alleged continued disobedience to lawful order of the court. The summons served on the IGP at the force headquarters in Abuja is to show cause why contempt charge would not be filed against him to commit him to prison. Justice Ijoma Ojoko sealed the summons against the IGP following his alleged refusal to reinstate a forcefully retired Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP Mr. Patrick Okoli. The court had voided and set aside a forceful retirement of Okoli from the force on the ground that due process of law was not followed in the purported retirement. The court, while ordering the reinstatement of DCP Okoli, imposed a fine of 10 million naira as punitive cost against police authorities. Although police contested the High Court judgment at the Court of Appeal, it lost as the appellate court affirmed the decision of the lower court. Court explains IGP Adamu's summon.
Nigeria Army denies having Chibok girls in its custody. The Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Liu Irobo, has said the Army is not aware of the escape of any Chibok girls during a clearance operation in the northeast, stressing that no escaped Chibok girl is in their custody. This is against reports by CNN and some other media claiming that several missing Chibok girls escaped from Boko Haram captivity. Major General Irobo, who led other service chiefs on an operational visit to the headquarters, Command and Control Center of Operation Lafayette Dole in Maduguri, the Borno State capital, told newsmen that contrary to claims making the rounds, there are no new set of escaped Chibok girls in the Army's custody. The CDs, however, expressed the desire that the rest of the Chibok girls receive their liberty, and if the operations have helped those ones to escape, if it yielded such results, then the Army are glad. CNN reported that the father of one of the kidnapped girls, Ali Mayaga, father to Alima Ali Mayaga, confirmed the escape. However, the American media outfit said it was unable to confirm from the military. Nigerian Army denies having Chibok girls in its custody.
And let's talk COVID-19. Presidency warns no one has immunity against pandemic. The federal government has cautioned Nigerians to protect themselves amid the rampaging COVID-19 pandemic, warning that no one has immunity against the deadly virus. The senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Gabashew, gave the warning in a series of tweets yesterday. While lamenting that the COVID-19 pandemic is a major threat to public health, the presidential spokesman said wearing of masks, social distancing in public places, and the basic hygiene are necessary measures that have to be taken to safeguard the well-being of our citizens. He asked Nigerians to always remember that the COVID-19 pandemic is not only a threat to the health of the population, but it is equally so to the national economy and to every aspect of our everyday life. Show asked the masses to wear masks, wash hands regularly with soap and clean water, adding that the social distancing, among others, would help curb the spread of COVID-19. The presidential aide also reiterated the commitment of President Muhammadu Buhari to safeguarding the health of Nigerians.
And there's another latest in COVID-19. FCT administration urges closure of markets over COVID-19 challenge. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has urged the closure of the popular Wuse Market, the UTC Shopping Center, and the Morgue Plaza, both in Area 10 of Garki District of Abuja. The head of publicity and enlightenment of the FCT Ministerial Tax Team on COVID-19, Ikaru Atta, who disclosed this while addressing journalists at the Eagle Square shortly after the presiding magistrate of the mobile court, Idayat Akani, gave the order. She explained that the decision was in line with the enforcement of the executive order of President Muhammad Buhari. The ministerial tax team explained that the commercial areas violated all COVID-19 guidelines, hence the magistrate ordered the closure. About 100 offenders were also arraigned before the mobile court in Abuja for violating COVID-19 safety protocols, especially non-use of face masks.
As a COVID-19 update from Lagos as well, the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has directed all state public servants on grade level 14 and below not to resume yet, as earlier directed. The affected civil servants have now been directed to resume on February 26, 2021, as coronavirus continues to rise higher in the state. The state head of service, Mr. Akim Muri Okunla, in a statement expressed concern that pockets of coronavirus infections had been observed among public servants in the state. Hence, Governor has further extended the work from home directive to all the state public servants on grade 11, 14 and below, with effect from Monday 1st to Friday 26th February 2021. Muri Okunola reiterated that the directive excludes essential duty staff, first responders, as well as officers saddled with assignments in the weekly duty rosters of their respective ministries, departments, and agencies. While advising staff to stay safe while observing all COVID-19 protocols, the head of service enjoined all accounting officers to ensure strict adherence to all directives aimed at guaranteeing physical distancing in the workplace.
And here we have Undo might adjust classes in schools to mitigate COVID-19 spike. In a related development, amidst widespread of COVID-19 second wave across the globe, Ondo State government has said it is working out modalities to make adjustment in teaching periods of subjects in classes to avoid clustering and crowding. The special advisor to the governor on health and acting commissioner Ministry of Health, Jibayo Adeyeye, dropped the hint in Akure during a joint inspection of schools in the metropolis by the Interministerial Committee on Coronavirus and the Ministry of Health. Adeyeye, who commended some school authorities for prompt adherence to COVID-19 protocol, observed that prevention of coronavirus requires special efforts. As such, there's need to do the needful at all times. He said there's need for reorganization of subject timetable for classes and schools where students are more populated. He therefore noted that schools have been mandated to cancel assemblies or any form of congregation and reduce break periods to run between 5 and 10 minutes in order to save the lives of students and teachers from the virus. Corroborating his view, the Commissioner for Education, Mr. Femi Agago, stated that even though people are finding it difficult to comply with various prevention guidelines highlighted by the government during the period, the ministry will not relent in doing its best and imbibing in the student universally accepted guidelines against COVID-19 as regular practice among them. Ondo might adjust classes in schools to mitigate COVID-19 spike.
Right. I think it's time to engage our analysts in some of the stories we've read so far. And I have the story: Presidency says appointment of IGP will not be based on ethnic consideration. Our analyst is right in the studio in the person of Comrade Katie. Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to be with you this morning.
Morning.
Yes, thanks for being around.
Thank you.
The Presidency says appointment of IGP will not be based on ethnic consideration. This is coming as a result of what the president of the Ohanese Indigo said, that the president should consider someone from the southeast. And now the presidency is reacting to that, saying that we should not be considering that when it comes to security issues. What's your take on that?
This particular regime has been characterized by a lot of lopsided activities in appointments. But I want to point out that appointment is actually subjective already. Saying you're appointing somebody to a position is already subjective. And the subject of major consideration with this administration had been regions and ethnicity. Now, because at the onset of this particular administration, you notice it took the president almost 8 months to select his ministers. And when he did, he told us, people said, oh, how did you come about this list? He said he would work with his friends. Now, if we know anything about friendship, most of the time they are within your locality. They are people you really trust, and everybody believing in the integrity of Mr. President agreed it could just go on ahead. However, with the things that now happen after that, we discovered that it was going to go into more of nepotism and stuff like that. And I want to say that it's not restricted to the presidency. Even at the state level, you have people's brothers, daughters, wives in positions of power, and even at the state assembly and everything. So we have to know the coloration that is happening. But stating emphatically that, because the Southeast has now demanded Johanese, that please consider people from other regions too, because everybody's talking about it, from the Christmas message to everything. It's too open now. We are too openly, the term nationalistic, your own nation of origin, okay? So rather than being patriotic, we have to think of that. In Nigeria, most of the time when people think of nationalism, they're thinking you're saying you are identifying with the nation of Nigeria. No, nationalism, actually, your ethnic native nationalism, your nationalistic selves, where patriotism is what we should begin to preach in Nigeria. But I want to say that we should understand that our system, our structure should create who comes next, not the appointment. It should be meritocracy. That means in any system that has a proper structure, we would already have known by promotions of people because of certain values that you have found in them, certain abilities that they've expressed over time, will now decide the pool of people that can be considered. Sometimes you give examinations to decide who comes, and the track records of ability to perform. Not every unit of the police is the same. So when you now have a situation where you have to appoint, it is definitely subjective. And think of what is happening now, a call by the court to order because of forceful retirement. So if law enforcement agents and agencies have not implemented the order of a court, then you begin to understand that I know the appointment is going to have a lot of ethnic input. Then it's going to have a lot of regional input. It's going to have a lot of, subjective factors. So we should get to it. If we want a good Nigeria, we should work for things that we build. And every human being can be biased. So the bias is removed by just laws and, removed by examinations, by a panel to appoint, not just a singular appointment and approval from one quarters. So we look forward to who the IG will be. But like I would say, Nigeria needs law enforcement. Nigeria needs state policing. Nigeria needs a beautiful, beautiful, regal police force that will see to the need of the people and truly become a friend of the community.
Okay, before I get into this story, there's this aspect of this story I'd like you to touch more on. You did, but the aspect of different ethnic groups, some feeling like, oh, we are not well represented up there, and some feeling like, and some thinking that, okay, this ethnic group is, how do you see this nation? Because now we have the election coming in, few years from now, and this would be a major topic. It's coming up with the IGP, but we know there are other offices like the presidency that we have different ethnic group are in at the moment. How do you think something like this can be balanced in Nigeria?
In a multi-ethnic state like we have in Nigeria, with diversity, our diversity should have been our strength. All human beings are not equally gifted, and different regions definitely have different values that would enhance the development of what we now call their giftings in that space. So I look forward to go to a multicultural school like that, is that you develop respect for people very early in your life. And I've had cause to go around Nigeria, so I was secretary to women in Nigeria. So I ended up going to different regions of Nigeria, different people, and I met some beautiful, beautiful people. And so many times I miss those areas. It used to be a beauty to eat a new menu, a beauty to dress up in other people's work. I always say Taraba is the most beautiful place I know in Nigeria. Okay, the hills. When you go, you see geography in display, on display openly. Okay, then if I went to Edo State, for example, when it was Bendel, I noticed the culture, the rich culture of Benin. If I went to Sokoto, for example, I say Sokoto, having fun going around Niger, we're going to River State, those villages. It was nice to see people that don't eat snails, the Igala people say Ajigme. I mean, this is the beauty we have now denied our children. So as you go around Nigeria, you learn to develop respect for people. You don't have this generalization of people are not educated. But no, Every region has provided wonderful people. But our lack of meritocracy, okay, when we talk about the quota system originally was to make reform to inclusion. But what we have now done, if you look at jam rating and everything, admission space, what we have now done is to behave as if the weak, not the weak as in weak in capacity, but somebody that does not merit is coming. And by that singular behavior in a nation that does not have enough, under scarcity, we have created a lot of negative competition without the system. There is no nation that's ethnic nation that does not have excellent people.
Okay. Yes, we have a story here. Nigerian army denies having Chibok girls in its custody, and this came based on the report from CNN reporting that some Chibok girls escaped, and people were expecting the Nigerian army would say, "Oh, we're aware of it," but now the Nigerian army says they are not aware of it, and even if it happens, they are happy that some Chibok girls escaped. What?
You know, this is the fun. At a time we say, "Oh, BBC News is negative, it's not real, it's false." At other time we say, "Oh, clap for them." Okay, so this is what we call misinformation and a lot of propaganda. One, when I saw that, I said, "Oh no, we don't want to talk about Sunday Igboho again." Okay, there's a way to really destabilize the system by dropping news flash. It is seeding of a new interest to divert from some other interests. And since it's a case, people would like to see girls back. And I keep saying, are Chibok girls, are they still Chibok girls? By now, they'll be Chibok women. Yes, they've been abused, harassed. Some of them would have resigned. And like they showed us, some girls said, I'd rather stay with my Boko Haram boyfriend or husband, than go back to the city. And if you've been to Borno State, many of the returnees have not been accepted back into the system. Their children are ostracized because they see those, many of them return with pregnancies. And you now see the community treats those kids like, these are the seed of Boko Haram, and we expect them to become evil. This is another dimension to this horrible behavior, and the girl child suffers. That is very painful to me. So it is, escape of Chibok girls is a painful subject in the line. Okay, the skyline of this nation is a dark experience. Nobody should toy with it. However, the Nigerian police have just spoken. They are not active participants in the rescue of the girls anymore. So they didn't even expect anything to happen. So if a girl,
The army.
yes, the army is not involved. So if the girl escaped, somebody would escape. Okay, if somebody is actually watching for a way out, somebody would escape sometime. So it is news that we are hearing from BBC now, and we're thinking we should trade it. Yes, I'm glad if a girl has escaped, but please take care of that girl that has escaped. She will need a lot of psychosocial support, and the army should, when that news came out, is the time to investigate. You can't just say, "Oh, we don't know," but if they have escaped, we are happy. I mean, that is not working. So they should be at the front line of defense. But I think really within the state activities should be by the police.
So are we saying there is this giving up on ever getting these girls back? Is that the end to it?
Well, it shouldn't be the end to
Because
it.
based on this comment, it's like our goal wasn't to even save these girls. We just attacked. And they escaped. Oh, if they actually did escape, good.
It's okay. Oh, well, they said it all. Yes, they said it all. And one thing I'd love to talk about again is this the felicitation with Doña Abiola. I'm sad. Okay, because we must learn to stop paying perfunctory services to people and speeches. I couldn't help thinking of Concorde Airlines. I couldn't help thinking of so many things that have been destroyed. And I wrote here, I said, there should be a limit to politicization of activities. You can, on one hand, be thinking we want a better Nigeria for development and investment, and structures are destroyed because somebody was on the wrong side of something. So at this time, though the president has done well by celebrating the late Abiola, I think I was looking for more in returning seized things back, building those structures again. Abiola was a force that made a lot of investment in the nation.
All right, so you can be a part of the show this morning by calling the studio lines. The number to call 0908 111 1067, 0908 111 1067, and 0808 010 1067, 0808 0101067. Those are the numbers to call to be a part of the discussion this morning. Communicate, I want your reaction to the story. The Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the Inspector General of Police IGP Mohammed Adamu to appear before it on Thursday over his alleged continued disobedience to lawful order of the court. The summons served on the IGP at the force headquarters in Abuja is to show cause why contempt charge should not be filed against him to commit him to prison. What's your reaction to that?
He should show up. He should show up. And there's another thing, if he's that was why I mentioned the issue of law enforcement officers must show esteem, utmost respect for the law of the land. The process of law formulation is laborious and it takes into consideration every possible expression and activities that will help to safeguard the rights of every human being. If he has flouted a court order, he should show up. And if there was immunity because of his former office, now he's retired, then he should show up. He should answer the case. Why he should not be punished for contempt of court. No man should be above law. And that takes me back to the issue over the weekend of the president being seen without his face mask. It is serious. It is very serious. On one hand, you made a law and attached a jail term. The very next minute, you're without your face mask. This is serious. So because it means there's one set of law for lawmakers, pronouncers of law, and there's another law for some people. I think the ideal thing by now is for the president to say, when I'm out of office, let there be a suspension of the verdict until he's out of office. Then he should go and answer it. So I'm saying this because that is the highest person in office in Nigeria. To show I'm sorry, do you get it? It should not be just, it should be stated, I'm sorry, and please, I will answer to it after my terms of office.
This whole immunity clause while still in administration, while still in office, don't you think we should start reconsidering this such that it doesn't affect the law of the land?
People that attain to certain positions should have been people who have been law-abiding for a term. Nobody ever thought that people who would not respect law would end up in public office spaces. So the immunity issue was in political terrain. People could be raising issues that will be propaganda-based, that will not be too serious, okay? So to avoid distraction while you're busy with governance, then there's that immunity clause in place. It is not to escape from punishment if you went against the law of the land. So it is a whole issue. But you know what we do? I think it's because sincerely, we do not understand the operations of these things that are put in place in other societies. We just copy and paste the rules. If we understood them, we would respect them.
Okay, and speaking of the law made regarding, the COVID-19, the violators of the COVID-19, we have it in FCT, the order of the closure of markets over the COVID-19 challenge, and the fact that opening those markets, violated the guidelines given, and about 100 offenders, are arraigned before the mobile court for violating the COVID-19 protocol. So I really want your thoughts regarding this one. And would it be great to see this replicated in other states of the federation so that we can ensure the enforcement of these protocols?
When I think of some of the things we say, I think of dirt of understanding of science. If the airspace has no limit and there's dilution all the time, so if you fumigated the space, it will be diluted. But it would be nice to clean surfaces and stuff like that. So some time will have to be designated for the proper cleaning. Is it that at the entrance point, the cleaning of the individual? So there's a cleaning of the environment, the sanitization of the environment. There's the sanitization of the person that is coming into the market, and the marketers to be put in place. And then what about a state like Oyo State? I'm almost scared when I step out. The markets are so condensed, you're congested, and people are moving everywhere without your face mask. Look at the public transportation system. How do you keep 6 people in a mikra, for example? What about when, okay, let's even assume that. So, you see, then when they talk about schools now, because they refer to schools and classes, even if you stagger the time people gather together, what you're just controlling is the air they're breathing together. But sanitization, the proper thing is that when you use chemicals, many of them are very dangerous. In fact, for them to kill the virus in the proper dose, they will kill a human being. So when you have sanitized the classroom before children come in, has that been done ever? Before children come in and a set of children come, when you give some time for the chemical to wear off, then children would come in. After that, some will leave, exit the classroom. The place should be cleaned again and left for some time before another set will come in. But now telling me that children will spend 5 minutes on break.
5 to 10 minutes.
No, please. The break in school system is for proper assimilation and understanding. That break is not a waste of time. The human span of attention is really 25. Some is even 10 minutes. It's 25 minutes lecture, 5 minutes break, 25 minutes lecture, 5 minutes break. The human brain has its way of behaving. So all these school rules were patterned after what the physiological expression of the human mind is. And now children have to go out for break during the midday sun so that they can use the vitamin D, so that their brain can be very functional. So it is not a waste of time. But in an emergency such as we have, it is parents that should teach their children, please keep your nose masks on. And no hugging and talking to friends nowadays. And even I see adults, they expose the nose and cover the mouth. The passage for COVID-19 is the nasal, is the nose. It means we should cover the nose, not just the mouth. The reason we're covering the mouth is because when you speak, if you're infected, you could be expressing droplets and all that to people. So please cover your nose. And the term immunity, a legal term and a medical term. People who have no money. So God help us. God help us.
You can be a part of the show this morning by calling the studio lines 0908 111 1067 and 0808 010 1067, 0908 111 1067 and 0808 010 1067. You can let us know what you think of some of the stories we have read and analyzed so far. I have the story called Stop Edo Teacher Strike. The National Industrial Court sitting at the Benin Judicial Division has restrained the Nigerian Union of Teachers from proceeding on any strike in Edo State primary schools. Justice A.A. Adejumobi gave the order after listening to submissions put forward by the Edo State government and the Edo State Universal Basic Education Board SUBEB as applicants in the case. The defendants in the suit are Chairman NUT Edo State Pius Okwelegbe, Assistant Secretary General NUT Edo State Moni Itwa, for themselves and on behalf of the members of the Edo State wing of the NUT. Justice Adejumobi restrained the NUT Chairman and Assistant Secretary General either acting for themselves or through their agents embarking on any strike pending on the hearing and the determination of the motion on notice, which is fixed for Tuesday, the 9th of February. Meanwhile, public primary school teachers in Edo State on Monday stuck to their guns as they shunned the resumption order of Governor Godwin Obaseki.
Industrial dispute. Yes, the governor will want things to go on, and the union has a duty to protect the interest of the members of that union. This is not new to us. Let the governor do the needful. Let people begin to respect labor, and everything will go on well. We go into negotiation when we have failed at the bargaining table. Okay, negotiation is a process in bargaining, but when both sides can no longer listen to one another, that is when the story becomes, goes to the fourth tier of the government. So let the governor do the needful. But in dispute resolution, it's normal to give the courts, that the industrial courts, a time limit within which things can be heard. So we should learn to be more proactive in decision making in governance. If we want schools to go on, then let's do what is important before we now come to this face off where everybody is now tripping up. So let the governor do the needful.
All right, we have some other stories here. NCDC partners Nigerian Army to tackle insecurity. Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, or your state commanders partnered the Nigerian Army in retraining its newly launched anti-terrorism unit in fighting insecurity. The state commandant, Mr. Iskilu Akinsoya, stated this while briefing newsmen on the command's achievements during the last year. He said, though the terrorist unit of the command was not new, but has not been functioning well, hence the need for the collaboration with the military in tackling the spate of criminal activities in your state.
I applaud this. Interagency training, interagency collaboration can only boost security. I applaud it, but it should not be just a speech. It should be act. I love it. I love it. This is how it should go. In fact, the military, the police should be involved in training Amotekun. Every hand should be on deck. Retired officers should volunteer to train. All well-meaning adults should be involved in training to curb terrorism. Yes, yes, I love it. Yes, yes.
Okay, yes, we have on the story now. Oyo pays gratuity of another 76 retirees. Oyo government has paid up to 3,420 million naira to clear the year 2012-2013 unpaid gratuity. I'm very interested in the year gratuity that is being paid. What do you have to say briefly regarding this?
Yes. Payment of gratuity, excellent. I hope we come up more, but we can't just pay too many of the backlogs yet. But all the people that have this and invest in things you're not familiar with, and please keep the money safe.
Okay, thank you so much. At this point, we, round off the program for today. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Pelumi Adedoja, and thank you so much, Comrade Katie. It was so great having you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Israel Adejumobi. Do have a wonderful day.
Did you say coronavirus? Yes, coronavirus. A new killer disease now ravaging the world started from China. Even World Health Organization has declared it a global health challenge. To prevent the outbreak and spread of coronavirus, make healthy living a habit. Ensure a clean and healthy environment. Wash your hands always with soap, ash, and water. Avoid direct contact with animals with your bare hands. Our butchers ensure only healthy and well-certified animals and poultry products are being served the public. When you notice any change in your body system, contact your doctor or nearest health center. Liberate yourself from the outbreak and spread of coronavirus. Healthy living is the antidote. This message is from Pensioners 106.7 FM. Agbarigo